In this AlignMix how-to video, you will learn how to import your sales personnel into AlignMix. And I'll show you two examples of how to perform these imports. The first import will only import your sales reps. It will place a little people icon on the map in their home zip code and also assign those sales reps to a sales territory. The second import will actually pull in a full sales personnel roster that will include different levels of sales reps, district managers, and region managers. So let's take a look at our sales rep roster here on the screen. You'll see that in column A we have the ID and B is the name. In this case, they're both the same. But if your company does use a numeric identifier for an ID, just imagine that in column A you have a numeric number representing that ID for the sales rep. Column C is our home zip code for each sales rep. Now remember, in order to import any data into AlignMix, you need to have the geography. So in this case, we are working in a 5-digit zip AlignMix file, so we need all of our data at that zip code level. Here in column D, we also have the sales territory assignment for all of these sales reps. And just as a reminder, all of our column labels appear in the same row. That will simplify the import process. So this will be our first import, and we will be importing this data into an AlignMix file that already has the zip to territory data imported. So we already have that geographic component. But you do not need to import your sales reps into an existing file. That can be your first import into a blank file, and then you can create territories after that. So to start, let's click here on the File button, then on Import, then import your data. Select the file for import and click on Open. The worksheet we need to import is not the first one in this workbook, so we have to click here on the Back button and then select the Sales Reps tab and click Next. And you'll notice right away that on the left side, we'll have our column labels populate, and that's showing those columns in the spreadsheet. So now we need to drag and drop from the left to the corresponding section on the right. And since we are importing sales rep information, the majority of our data will fall into this section here. So the ID gets dragged to ID, name to name, their home zip code gets dragged to zip code. And as I drag that zip code over, you'll see all the other categories have collapsed. Basically, with that zip code, the software now knows officially what we are trying to import. And our assignment, which is the sales territories, gets dragged over here to assign territory, district, and region. Now we click on Next, and we receive a summary of what we are importing. Click Next again, that import completes, and click on Finish. So now if we zoom into an area, you'll see little people appear on the map. Each little person represents that sales rep that we just imported. If you zoom in even further, you will see their names start to appear. Each sales rep is colored in about a 50% shade darker than the territory that they are assigned to, so that you can easily locate them on the map. So that's how you import just your sales reps into the map. So now let's go back to our Excel file and look at a sales personnel worksheet for our next import. Here is our sales personnel roster. This time in column C, we have different job roles. We've got different levels of sales reps and their assignments. And if we scroll down, you will see that there's also district managers with their district assignments, and same goes for the region managers with their region assignments. So now we're going to repeat this import into a zip to territory file that I've already created. So let's go back to AlignMix and start this import. So again, here we have a new file where we just have zip codes assigned to territories. Basically, I've imported a zip to territory file here. And now we're going to import that sales personnel roster. And the import is identical to what we just did, but with one extra step. To start the import, click on File, Import, Import your data, select your file for import, and again, we have to click on the Back button and then select the sales personnel roster and click on Next. And now we simply drag and drop the corresponding sections from the left to the right, just like we did earlier. But this time we have a job title. Job title gets dragged over here to the job title section, then zip code goes to zip code, and assignment goes to assignment down here. We now click on the Next button. The software actually recognized that there's a hierarchy in this file, so we're going to have districts and regions. And in that Excel file, we have the designation of district manager and region manager. And the software did a good job of placing those roles in the corresponding section. If it did not place this correctly, or you were missing that job role section, you can drag and drop the correct ones to the correct section. But we know that this is correct, so we'll just leave it as default. click on Next, and then Next again for that import to complete, and click on Finish. Now, once again, if you zoom into an area on the map, you will see little people appear on the map. The one difference is, during this import, we actually created the role of district manager and region manager. You can view your district managers and region managers by opening up a new tab, and let's say a district map, and by doing so, you will see their district managers now appear on your district map view. You can also view and edit your sales reps here in the Edit Personnel button, and you can see some of them have the designation of sales rep, but if you scroll through, some of them will be assigned that district manager role, and some will have that region manager role based on the import that we just did. And there you have it. You've just learned how to import your sales reps and also sales personnel into your AlignMix file.